welcome to another episode of Mark in the Morning.
BSNSchools.net's homeroom.
As you probably noticed, we're in two separate places. Mark, you want to actually tell everybody where you're at right now?
Yeah, I'm in Manchester, UK right now, northwest England. So I'm about 3,000 miles away from you, Mark. So couldn't get far enough away from you.
Yeah, I know. So we're doing some remote Mark and Marks. We'll still be doing some on-site ones when Mark's around, back in the States, visiting us. We'll do some more tapings then. But for a few of these, they're going to be remote. How about it, Mark?
It's pretty cool. I mean, you know, the fact that we can do this stuff and be nowhere near each other and yet still get all the great Mark and Mark content out there, I think is a good thing.
That's right.
That's what I think.
So what is today's episode, Mark?
Well, we're going to talk about some tools that we're discontinuing. The LX tools are going to be going away before too long here with Blended Schools. So we're going to talk about that today.
Yeah, in fact, they're going to be going away June 1st. And one of the main reasons why those tools are going to be going away is Blackboard, since 9.1, has been integrating some of those tools along the way. So there's really no need to have two tools that do basically the same thing. How about it, Mark?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, back when we got the Learning Objects tools, we felt that there were certain things that we really needed, like a wiki was really what we wanted at the time. And Blackboard didn't have a wiki. Now they do. So we kind of have two of the same tool. It's just doesn't make a lot of sense to have two of the same
Correct.
tools. So.
Yeah, Blackboard basically only had the discussion board back in 8, and then when they came out with 9, they introduced the blog and the journal tool, and then with 9.1 that we recently updated last year to, the wiki tool came available. So Mark, you want to take everybody out and actually show them what the difference is between the two and what they're looking for?
Yeah, well, I think that's the most important thing is knowing which of the two types of tools you might be using. So here I have a Blackboard course with some examples in it. And the easiest way to really tell if you have an LX tool or what's called a Campus Pack tool as well is whether it has these orange emblems. You know, it's to the left of my journal, my blog, and my wiki here. I have this sort of orange circle. The emblems are a little bit different, but they look generally the same. They're all inside an orange circle. Whereas the Blackboard ones, each tool actually has a different emblem, but they look totally different. They're not orange, they're not circular, so it's really easy to tell the difference. And once you know the difference, you also, we want to show you how to add new ones in too, right, Mark?
Yeah. There is one tool, the RSS feed tool, that we currently don't have a replacement for. That tool will be going away along with the Campus Pack blog and wiki tool. And we're looking for a replacement. How about it, Mark? We haven't given up on that. We're hoping we can find something to replace that for you, but as of right now, that tool will be going away, and it will be the only one that we're going to be taking away from your list.
Yeah, and that's the Podcaster tool, and I know I use that, so I'm definitely interested in trying to find a replacement for it. So we are working to get a replacement for that one.
That's correct.
As hard as we can.
So, Mark, you want to show them from the drop-down menu where the Campus Pack tools are and where the Blackboard tools are in comparison, and maybe talk about what we need to do for that transition.
Yeah, so you'll find actually all of the tools, Campus Pack or Blackboard, they're all under Add Interactive Tool because they're really all collaboration tools, and all the collaboration tools exist under that menu. And a quick way to tell the difference between which one is which is just to think that Blackboard's tools are always at the top of that list. Add Interactive Tool menu has a blog, a journal, and a wiki right near the top. Those are the Blackboard ones. And if you look a little bit further down the list, you'll find there's Campus Pack Wiki, Campus Pack Podcast, Campus Pack Blog. Those are the LX tools. So LX and Campus Pack are interchangeable. You can use them either way. And the key is just if you want to transition, if you have a Campus Pack Wiki, and you want to create a new Blackboard wiki to replace it, all you need to do is go up to Add Interactive Tool and just select the wiki and add a Blackboard wiki in. Now, if you've got some content in your wiki, like maybe a prompt or something like that, you can just copy and paste between the two. You just want to make sure that you do it before that June 1st time, because obviously it'll go away at June 1st. So.
Yeah, correct. So, and again, in the interactive tool section, all the Blackboard tools are at the top. All the add-in tools, as we call them, are always at the bottom, and that includes even Wimba tools and so forth. So we add new interactive tools. So basically, Mark, what you're saying is I have to really just recreate my blogs. I have to recreate my journals and so forth. Is that correct?
Exactly. And what we're thinking is, June 1st is right towards the end of the school year. So if you can wrap up your projects, especially things like wikis, if you can wrap those up before June 1st, your transition is really just creating next year's wiki or next year's journal or blog with a new prompt, just doing that before June 1st, moving that stuff over, and then you've got a fresh new wiki, blog, or journal for the rest of the year. So it's really not that bad. We think it works quite well with the June timeframe. So
yeah, and as far as the blog tool, the LX blog tool, it's really being replaced by two tools. Is that correct, Mark? There's the journal and the blog tool now in Blackboard, which really did the same thing as the one tool in the LX. You want to tell everybody what the difference is between those two?
Yeah, so, and I'll just show you here. If I were to go to Campus Pack blog here, when I first create a Campus Pack blog, what it says on the first screen here that I get to is, do you want to have a group blog or do you want to have a private journal? So the difference is essentially obvious. In a group blog, everybody in the class can see everybody else's postings. A private journal, only the student can see their own and the teachers can see the students too. So a blog is really just a public version of a journal. That's all a blog really is. But when you go to the Add Interactive Tool menu, you'll find that towards the top there's two separate tools. There's blog and there's journal. So the basic difference now is you need to think ahead of time. Do I want a public, a collaboration activity, or do I want a private journal, like a reflection activity? And then just decide, go for the right one. Blog's public, and then the journal is private. So there are two different tools, but it's pretty easy. I just want to make sure you pick the right one first.
That's correct. So, Mark, obviously, after this podcast, you might need to know how exactly to convert that.
Yeah.
How can our participants actually find some more information on how to get help on the conversion process of recreating these blogs and journals and so forth using the correct tool?
Well, they can find help, not surprisingly, by going up to the Help button way up at the top of Blackboard. If you've never used this Help button, you really need to take a peek at it. You just click on Help. And you'll find over here on the right, we have a knowledge base search, right, Mark, where we have, over 200 different tutorials available.
Yes, we have tons of tutorials in there, and you can actually browse the knowledge base, or you can just simply type in the search box, Mark, and really all you need to do is type in LX and click search, which will find all the LX tool videos, and those videos will be going away after June 1st, but at the very, very bottom, we actually have several videos on how to convert your LX blogs, wikis, and journals using the correct Blackboard tool. And there's videos specifically on those, so please use those videos if you're not sure how to do that conversion process. They'll walk you through step by step of what it is that you need to do, making sure that you use the correct tool and so forth, and get that conversion process turned over. So again, you really want to make sure that you get this done by June 1st. If you're going to be finishing up a project, you don't need to worry about converting them maybe right now, but throughout the summer or maybe even next school year before you start your blogs and journals, you will need to convert those because those tools won't be available and those links will not work in your course anymore, and you'll have to remove those. So pros and cons, Mark. Let's talk a little bit about those. Good. Okay, so we got some pros and cons. Obviously, the con is there's some upfront work for you. You actually have to recreate. How about it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and depending on how elaborate your projects are, I mean, it seems to me journals should be pretty easy, because they're ongoing things. You clean them out anyway. You may have a little bit of work to do with your wikis. If you've got a 4 or 5 page wiki, you may have to do a little bit of copy and pasting, but I mean, even the most elaborate wikis aren't going to take more than, say, 20, 30 minutes, to move over.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. So.
Yeah.
But what about the pros, Mark? There are several pros that we didn't get a chance to really talk about in this conversion process. And what are some of those pros, Mark?
Well, in a lot of these we've been over, if you look at previous Mark and Mark episodes, especially our 9.0 and 9.1 episodes, we talk about a lot of these. But one of the biggest pros, I think, is that the Blackboard collaboration tools have this inline grading facility. So you can look at a student's wiki contributions or their journal entry, and you can grade right there, right while you're looking at their work. It's really, really nice. That's something that the LX tools just don't have that at all. So
correct, and it populates the grade center for you. So the inline grading is one great one. And of course, it just integrates more tightly within the Blackboard environment because it is a Blackboard tool. Yeah. So it just makes it a lot nicer using those tools. And personally, I kind of like the tools better than the LX tools now that they're there.
And I think the tight integration, too, is probably going to help in the future. There's a lot of these emerging tools coming out in Blackboard. Like the classic one would be the rubric tool, right? I mean, the rubric tool is basic now. But as that develops, maybe we can integrate rubrics in with wikis and that kind of thing. There's a lot more potential there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's where really the power is with that integration, is that, as you said, Mark, I'll be able to assign a rubric to a specific wiki or blog or journal, and I'll even be able to grade right off of that blog or that rubric in the future. So those are some of the things that we're really hoping for. So again, I want to thank everyone for watching another episode of Mark and Mark in the Morning.
BSNschools.net's Homeroom.
Have a great day.